Has HP just released the perfect budget gaming laptop? Let's find out. And while we're finding out, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace. What's up, everyone? I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. So I am super excited to open this up. This is the brand new HP Victus, which is their new line of budget gaming laptops. But the reason I picked this out was I don't necessarily do a lot of gaming, but I like gaming a little bit, and I like having crossover machines that can do an awful lot of stuff. So this seemed like a perfect pick for this. Quick note at the beginning, nobody provided this to me. I purchased this myself, and this is the 6-core i5 3050 model that I purchased from Best Buy. So let's crack it open, and I left my scissors. We can actually see it here. So it's the i5 11400H processor, 8GB of RAM, RTX 3050, Windows 10, no optical drive. Whoa, thank goodness I was not expecting an optical drive, right? What is this, 1997? 256GB solid state drive. Let's see what kind of upgradability we have. Let's see how the packing material is, and let's see how the build quality is. That is the most exciting part. Never cut towards yourself. Especially on a YouTube video, you do not want to cut towards yourself and then cut yourself, which, the Everyday Dad does not listen to his own advice. Do as I say, not as I do for the YouTube video, as we realize it as we're doing it. Alright, let's crack this sucker open. Okay, packaging, it's alright. It is a budget laptop, so I guess I can't be too grumpy that the packaging is not top shelf. We have a little bit of documentation showing us setup instructions, warranty and technical support, great. Here's the laptop. Power brick. Now this is a more standard power brick. This isn't like a USB-C high-end productivity laptop like we've been checking out with the XPS line. This is a more budget gaming laptop, so expect big old power bricks. This is a 200-watt power brick. But if you are looking for a laptop for gaming or more like serious functionality, if you are used to maybe a productivity laptop with all the small USB-C stuff, sometimes those can have issues transmitting enough power. So if you're going to get a power machine, sometimes you need the big old ugly power brick because that's what gives you the power. All right, let's get this cardboard off of here. All right, that is a heavy laptop. That is a big old heavy laptop. But, again, I would rather save as much money as I can to make sure the internals are pretty good. And I think the internals on here, at least from what I've seen online, look pretty good. Okay. I actually really like that blue. Longtime viewers will remember we used to have a blue background, but it was really hard to balance skin tones and the blue background, so we left it alone. But I'm always, I'm a gray, I'm a matte gray person, and like a gunmetal blue like this, I actually really like this. What does this say? Victus. Designed and engineered by HP. 016. I don't know what that means, but I think that's pretty sharp looking. It is obviously all plastic. Can you hear that? Like, this is not a metal chassis. This is a plastic chassis. Huge vent here on the bottom. What do we have in the back here? Probably some more. This is the out. I can feel the outflow vents right there. For I/O. We get Ethernet, HDMI, USB-A, USB-C, SD card, headphone jack, and power. Wow, this is like the ultimate amount of I/O. We also get 2 USB-A on the side here, and unlike Asus, we do not get I/O on the back, but that's a respectable amount. That is I'd pay an awful lot to get that on all laptops, but I think this feels pretty good, and this is a 16.1-inch monitored laptop, so it's big, but it's not like overly big. Like we talked about with the XPS 17, even the big laptops nowadays are like the size of regular laptops used to be. All right, let's crack this sucker open. That feels pretty good. Again, it's all plastic. It's all plastic, but that's a pretty nice, that's fairly slim bezels for a budget machine. Yes, we got this huge chin right here. It's not terrible. Got the V for victory, or Victus, right? But I don't think this is not awful. It's a little more angled than I would prefer. I like it if I'm going to be using a laptop for work. I like having it angled down a little bit because this does feel a little edgy. I feel like after a while we will get those marks on the forearms as we're working, but the keys feel good. That is a surprise. They feel an awful lot like the Macbook keys. That's crazy. We do get the full keypad. We get the full keyboard. Inverted T has the flex. That is a lot of flex. That's a lot of flex. So we'll have to see. It's not as bad. Like when you're typing, you don't see it as much, which is good. But like here, that's a lot of flex. How's the trackpad? Trackpad's pretty solid. Trackpad's pretty solid. It feels solid for a Windows machine, but I gotta say the keys feel so much like my MacBook, and that's a huge compliment because I think the MacBook has the best keyboard in the business. We'll say though, maybe it's because it's a 16-inch laptop trying to fit in the full keys. The keys do feel a little tight though, so like test, typing, 1, 2, 3, test, typing, 1, 2, 3. We'll have to see after we work on it for a little bit. We'll see how that feels, but it does. They might have scrunched this in a little too much, but to get around the problem where most modern laptops have had their top firing speakers here on the side, we do have the top firing speakers right here, so everything probably shifted down a little bit. B&O, like the B&O Railroad. Dad jokes from Monopoly. Before we turn it on, let's crack it open and see what kind of upgrades we can make inside of it. And we do have standard Phillips head screws on here, which makes me very happy. And will hopefully make all the YouTube commentators happy too, when they don't have to hear me call something wrong or do something the way that they probably would not do it and then yell at me in the comments. You might think that that's rare, but even a good-natured fellow like myself can get some YouTube angry people down there. I do not ever claim to be an expert. I'm just the everyday dad. I'm the everyday guy that tries to just be cheerful, show you what my opinions are on stuff. We'll go from there. All right, these are very easy to unscrew as well. I like that. One of the things that I disliked about the Dell laptops we checked out previously was either the screws were not of the highest quality, or they were factory sealed way too tight, and we stripped one immediately upon trying to open it, and I'm glad we will not have to break out the drill for the HP Victus. Let's be gentle. Let's come on. We'll be just as gentle as we can. We don't want to break our new laptop. All right, there we go. Okay. Feels pretty good. White, 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 black, white. Thank you. I could tell what those colors were. Thank you very much, HP, for letting me know that again. Okay, what do we have on the inside here? We have a heat pipe cooling system, which there are versions of this computer that have i7s or even big Ryzen processors. This looks like a very, very puny cooling system, so I might be concerned if I were going to get one of the bigger processors that this might keep up, but we haven't tried it yet. We can't say definitively how the cooling system is. Obviously, it's budget. We're going to say that a lot, right? There has to be some sacrifices made when you're saving money on components. We'll just have to see. We'll leave it at that. It does look like we can upgrade the 2 RAM slots, replace with HP spare. Okay, we get the 4GB 1R/16 PC4 3200 AA. I know people have been asking me to report on what kind of RAM comes in laptops, so there you go there. It looks like we get 2 M.2 drives with copper plates already installed. That makes me incredibly happy to see, and that means this will be very easy to upgrade yourself if you do want to do that. So here's the SSD that comes with it, that 256GB model. All right, let's put this back in. That is a really nice, comes with a thermal pad already. Everything just ready to go. That is so good. I love that. I like that a lot. It drives me insane that $2,000 XPS 15 has 2 slots, but only has one that comes with a copper cover and all of the parts that you would need to upgrade it yourself. So if you were somebody that was just like, I'm going to upgrade this myself, well, you miss out on an awful lot. We have another copper plate with thermal pad ready to go. So if we wanted to upgrade this, it would take seconds. Seconds, y'all. Well, maybe minutes. Maybe minutes instead of seconds. Okay, we've got the battery here. This is a, where does it say? 70 watt hour battery. Pretty good. Looks like we have the Wi-Fi chip under this plate here. We're not going to mess with that today. But yeah, everything else looks pretty good. It looks very upgradable. I'm really impressed with what we got here. So let's pop this back on, turn this sucker around, and turn it on and see what they gave us as far as functioning software. Hopefully there's not too much bloatware included on this. That would make me very sad to be this excited about the hardware only to find that the computer is full of bloatware. Okay, boom. Power. Core i5, thank goodness we have the Goofy sticker on there. For a while there, when we weren't having Goofy stickers on laptops, I didn't know what to do with myself. RTX, Victus HP, get ready to play. I like how far down the screen goes. This will make... Ooh, that is kind of wobbly. You see that? That is a very floppy... that's the first part about the build quality that I do not like, is just how like unstable that is. Like you tap that. Look at that. That is wild. That's crazy. I do not like that. I wish there was a little more stiffness in there. I mean, it moves around fairly easy, but like... that is crazy. Hey, Corton, I'm sorry I gotta meet you today. You can hear the fans a little bit, but it's not terrible. Now that I'm using it, though, there's like a... It's like a tippy-tappy. It just feels kind of hollow. As I'm using the keyboard and everything to set it up, you can tell, like as you're starting to use it, I can tell that this does not have like the best quality behind it, right? Again, it's a budget laptop, so you're really just trying to find the way to get the components to somebody. But it is a little less robust than I might expect. And I didn't want to register this. I accidentally hit a button. Not now. I can hear that the fans are on, but they don't sound very loud at all. It is an i5, so it's not going to be the strongest processor out there. It should not be generating that much heat, especially these new versions of the Intel Core processors, but it's not bad. I've heard far worse. This is a livable amount of fan noise. We'll have to see, though. As we run some benchmarks, do some video editing tests, we'll see how that fan noise holds up, trying to keep the computer cool. Okay, we got it booted up here. We are not going to register with you, HP. Review, yeah, I want all of this stuff turned off. Thank you for asking me the second time. Skip this step. All right, I'm VPN. Wow, you hit me with like the trifecta of bloatware, HP. Thank you so much for that. Okay, I feel like we have set this up as much as we're going to. So how is the graphics card set up? Okay, we've got the 3050 Ti set to 75 watts. That's more than I think I've seen out of the 3050 so far. So I'm excited to see how this is going to perform here over the next couple of weeks. 75 watts. I believe the XPS 17 was 60 and the XPS 15 was 45. So 75. That's the most so far. And I do like this monitor. Like besides the wobble, this is a pretty nice big, very clear IPS panel. It's not 4K. It is 1080p though. Looks pretty good. Okay, yep, we have the Intel Core i5 11400H, the 6-core processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM. Pretty good. Pacific Daylight Time. We are not in Pacific Daylight, pal, though I do wish it was around noon. Okay, and let's see how much memory we then, or how much storage we have, not necessarily memory. Try not to confuse the two there. Okay, so 193 gigabytes free of the 237 makes a lot of sense. So yes, this is the HP Victus. For a budget laptop, I'm very impressed and I'm very excited to start digging into this. I think the build quality is pretty good. It's not great, it's pretty good. The upgradability is definitely very good. I would give this an A+ on upgradability so far. The monitor, the screen itself looks good, but it flops around an awful lot. The keyboard so far has a lot of promise for me. I/O, fantastic. So I think there's an awful lot of promise in this laptop. But what do you all think? What would you like to see? Leave me a comment below, and we will try to get to all of the videos that you all would like to see. Thanks to today's sponsor, Squarespace, you can create your own very beautiful website. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a professional website, online store, or portfolio. It's so easy to claim a domain/URL, create a custom site that matches your style, and brings your ideas to life. Head on over to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, head on over to squarespace.com/everydaydad to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks for watching.